CDL Practice Test, Texas, Combination Vehicles, Part 2. Question number 27. To test the tractor protection valve, charge the trailer air brake system, turn off the engine, and A. Flash your high beam headlights on and off several times. B. Keep pressing the brake pedal firmly. C. Step on and off the brake pedal several times. The correct answer is here, C. Step on and off the brake pedal several times. Explanation. To test the tractor protection valve, charge the trailer air brake system, turn off the engine, and lower the air pressure by stepping on and off the brake pedal several times. The tractor protection valve control, also called the trailer air supply control, should pop out, or go from the normal to the emergency position, when the air pressure falls into the range specified by the manufacturer, typically 20-45 C. Question number 28. While you are driving a combination vehicle, if the service line comes apart but the emergency line stays together, what will happen right away? A. Nothing is likely to happen until you try to apply the brakes. B. The trailer's air tank will exhaust through the open line. C. The emergency tractor brakes will come on. The correct answer is here, A. Nothing is likely to happen until you try to apply the brakes. Explanation. If a leak has developed in the service line, air tank pressure may remain close to normal until you try to brake. Then the air loss from the leak will cause the air pressure to drop quickly. If the air pressure drops far enough, the emergency brakes will come on. Question number 29. To drive a triple combination vehicle, you must have A. A Class A CDL, B. A doubles triples, T. Endorsement on your CDL, C. A Class A CDL with a doubles triples, T. Endorsement. The correct answer is here, C. A Class A CDL with a doubles triples, T. Endorsement. Explanation. To legally pull a trailer whose gross vehicle weight rating, GVWR, exceeds 10,000 pounds, you'll have to obtain a Class A CDL. To pull triples, you'll also have to obtain a doubles triples, T. Endorsement on your CDL. Note, if you don't also pass a knowledge test on air brakes, your CDL will include a restriction limiting you to driving only vehicles without air brakes. Question number 30. What is the safest way for you to make a turn without entering another traffic lane? A. If you must cross into the oncoming lane to make a turn and you see vehicles coming toward you, stop and back up for them. B. You should turn wide before you start the turn. C. You should turn wide as you complete the turn. The correct answer is here, C. You should turn wide as you complete the turn. Explanation. To turn right, you must turn wide to help prevent the rear end from overrunning the curb. However, if you start the right turn by swinging wide to the left, another driver may try to pass you on your right while you are turning, which can lead to a collision. Instead, start the right turn with the rear of your vehicle as close to the curb as possible and then turn wide as you complete the turn. This will deny drivers room on the right to try to pass you. Question number 31. When should the trailer hand valve, trolley valve or Johnson bar be used? A. When the trailer is in a skid jackknife. B. During normal mountain driving. C. When driving on snow ice. D. When testing trailer brakes. The correct answers here. D. When testing trailer brakes. Explanation. The trailer hand valve operates only the trailer brakes. It should only be used to test the trailer brakes. Do not use the trailer hand valve while driving. This could cause the trailer brakes to lock up and cause a skid and/or jackknife. Do not use the trailer hand valve to straighten out the trailer during a jackknife. This will make a bad situation worse. Question number 32. You are driving a combination vehicle when the trailer breaks away, pulling apart both air lines. You would expect the trailer brakes to come on and A. The tractor to lose all air pressure. B. The tractor protection valve to close. C. The trailer supply valve to stay open. The correct answers here. B. The tractor protection valve to close. Explanation. The tractor protection valve keeps air in the tractor if the trailer breaks away or develops a bad leak. If air pressure drops too low in the service line, the tractor protection valve will close. This stops air from escaping from the tractor and lets air out of the trailer emergency line, causing the trailer emergency brakes to come on. Question number 33. A combination vehicle has things to inspect in comparison to a single vehicle. A. Fewer. B. The same number of. C. Higher difficulty level. D. More. The correct answers here. D. More. Explanation. When you inspect a combination vehicle, there will be more things to look at than a single vehicle. Question number 34. When coupling, the proper position of the fifth wheel is A. Tilted up toward the rear of the tractor. B. Tilted down toward the rear of the tractor. C. Level with the ground. The correct answers here. B. Tilted down toward the rear of the tractor. Explanation. Before coupling, make sure that the fifth wheel is in the proper position. For one thing, it should be tilted down toward the rear of the tractor. Question number 35. When doing an inspection, which of these would best describe a working landing gear? A. Greased well. B. Secured to the frame. C. None of these. All airlines are free of damages. D. Fully raised and not bent. The correct answers here. D. Fully raised and not bent. Explanation. When doing an inspection, the landing gear needs to be fully raised and not bent. Question number 36. What is the first thing you should do to prevent a trailer skid? A. Step on the brakes hard several times to stop the skid. B. Use the trailer handbrake. C. Recognize that a skid has started to occur in the mirrors. D. Maintain a constant speed to adjust the truck and trailer in a smooth fashion. The correct answers here. D. Maintain a constant speed to adjust the truck and trailer in a smooth fashion. Explanation. The best way to prevent a skid is to maintain a constant speed and make smooth adjustments. Slamming on the brakes or swerving may cause you to skid or jackknife. Question number 37. During uncoupling, you should disconnect the electrical cable and A. Hang it with the plug down. B. Hang it with the plug up. C. Coil it to keep it out of the way. The correct answers here. A. Hang it with the plug down. Explanation. After you disconnect the electrical cable, hang it with the plug down to keep moisture or rain from getting into it. Question number 38. You have a major leak in the service line, and you apply the brakes. Service air pressure will escape and cause the A. Tractor spring brakes to lock on. B. Trailer tank pressure to be lost. C. Trailer emergency brakes to come on. The correct answers here. C. Trailer emergency brakes to come on. Explanation. If air pressure in the emergency airline drops too low, say because of a bad leak in the service line, the trailer emergency brakes will come on. Also, the tractor protection valve will close to keep air from escaping from the tractor. Question number 39. The tractor protection valve will close and the trailer brakes will come on when there is a major leak in the brake line. A. Service. B. Parking. C. Emergency. The correct answers here. C. Emergency. Explanation. The tractor protection valve keeps air in the tractor if the trailer breaks away or develops a bad leak. If air pressure drops too low in the service line, the tractor protection valve will close. This stops air from escaping from the tractor and lets air out of the trailer emergency line, causing the trailer emergency brakes to come on. Question number 40. To make a right turn without going into another lane, you should A. Brake heavily. B. Turn sharply as you start the turn. C. Wait for vehicles to pass you. D. Turn wide as you complete the turn. The correct answers here. D. Turn wide as you complete the turn. Explanation. To make a right turn without going into another lane, turn wide as you finish the turn. To keep other drivers from passing you on the right, try to keep the rear of the vehicle close to the curb. Question number 41. If your vehicle is equipped with dummy couplers, why should you connect the glad hands to them? A. If you don't, you will never build system pressure. B. The connected brake circuit becomes a backup air tank. C. It will keep dirt and water out of the lines. The correct answers here. C. It will keep dirt and water out of the lines. Explanation. Some vehicles are equipped with dead-end or dummy couplers. When the air lines are not connected to a trailer, connect the glad hands to the dummy couplers to keep water and dirt out of the glad hands and air lines. If your vehicle doesn't have dummy couplers, you may be able to connect the glad hands to each other. Question number 42. There are two things that a driver can do to prevent a rollover. They are go slow around corners and A. Make sure that the brakes are properly balanced. B. Use the trailer hand valve before the brake pedal. C. Keep both hands firmly on the steering wheel. D. Keep the weight of your cargo as close to the ground as possible. The correct answers here. D. Keep the weight of your cargo as close to the ground as possible. Explanation. The following two things will help you prevent rollover. 1. Keep the cargo as close to the ground as possible. And 2. Drive slowly around turns. Keeping cargo low is even more important in combination vehicles than in straight tracks. Question number 43. To prevent rollovers, you should always make sure the cargo is as close to the ground as possible, and you should A. Take turns quickly and sharply. B. Use the emergency brake before turning. C. Always fully load your vehicle. D. Take turns slowly and carefully. The correct answer is here. D. Take turns slowly and carefully. Explanation. Rollovers happen when you take a turn too quickly. If cargo is too top heavy or off center, this increases your risk. For this reason, keep cargo centered and as close to the ground as possible. Also, take turns slowly and carefully, which is especially important for combination vehicles. Question number 44. The service line, A. carries air to the parking brake to control the trailer brakes. B. carries air to the cab of the rig to cool it. C. carries air to a relay valve that allows the trailer brakes to be applied quickly. The correct answer is here. C. carries air to a relay valve that allows the trailer brakes to be applied quickly. Explanation. The service line, also called the control line or signal line, carries air, which is controlled by the foot brake or the trailer hand brake. The service line is connected to relay valves that allow the trailer brakes to be applied more quickly. The relay valves send air to the brake chambers in response to the air pressure in the service line. Question number 45. When does the tractor protection valve close automatically? A. When the air pressure is low and reaches 30 C to 55 C. B. When the air pressure is high and reaches 45 to 60 C. C. It doesn't close off automatically, you need to close the valve yourself. D. When the air pressure is low and ranges from 25 C to 45 C. The correct answer is here. D. When the air pressure is low and ranges from 25 C to 45 C. Explanation. The tractor protection valve closes to stop any air from coming out. When pressure reaches 25 C to 45 C, the valve closes automatically. Question number 47. A tractor with a N trailer requires the shortest amount of stopping distance. A. Empty. B. Lightly loaded. C. Fully loaded. The correct answer is here. C. Fully loaded. Explanation. The weight of cargo helps the wheels get traction. When a combination vehicle is empty or lightly loaded, its braking distance increases. The very stiff suspension springs and strong brakes give poor traction and make it very easy to lock the wheels. Question number 48. Which of the following is the best action you could take when the parking brakes don't release? A. Change the service and emergency airline connections because they're broken. B. Report it to a supervisor at your earliest convenience. C. Don't use the spring brakes for any reason. D. Check the airline connections. The correct answer is here. D. Check the airline connections. Explanation. Sometimes, the service and emergency airlines can be switched up, so you need to check the airline connections to ensure that the airlines are connected to the right places. If not, then the air used to release the parking spring brakes will not be available. Question number 49. The hand valve should be used. A. Only when the trailer is fully loaded. B. Only with the foot brake. C. To test the trailer brakes. The correct answer is here, C. To test the trailer brakes. Explanation. The trailer hand valve, also known as a trolley valve or Johnson bar, controls only the trailer brakes, not the tractor brakes. You can use it to test the trailer brakes. Don't use it while you're driving, though. If you apply it while you're driving, you'll brake the trailers but not the tractor, which can cause a skid. Instead, use the foot brake, which sends air to the tractor brakes as well as the trailer brakes. Question number 50. Which of these vehicles off-tracks the most? A. A 5-axle tractor towing a 42-foot trailer. B. A 5-axle tractor towing a 52-foot trailer. C. A 5-axle tractor towing a 45-foot trailer. The correct answer is here, B. A 5-axle tractor towing a 52-foot trailer. Explanation. When any vehicle turns, its rear wheels will follow a shorter path than its front wheels. This is called off-tracking or cheating. The longer the vehicle, the greater the difference. In a combination vehicle, the trailer's wheels will off-track more than the tractor's rear wheels. In a double or triple combination vehicle, the wheels of the last trailer will off-track the most. Question number 51. Which part of the kingpin should the locking jaws close around? A. The base. B. The head. C. The shank. The correct answer is here, C. The shank. Explanation. Don't drive the vehicle until you're sure that the coupling is correct. Check to make sure of the following. There is no space between the upper and lower fifth wheel. The fifth wheel jaws have closed around the shank of the kingpin. The locking lever is in the lock position, and the safety latch is in position over the locking lever. If anything isn't right, don't drive the vehicle until you've found and corrected the problem. If you drive it anyway, your trailer could come loose while you're driving.